you find direction in a world that is overwhelmed with information. I want to start by sharing a personal story. In 2020, I found myself in a new country. I was completely alone. I had little to no family members around. And I was working from home. And for a period of about a year and a half, I hit new mental and emotional lows that I had never experienced in my life before. I tried to figure out what was going on up here, and I spoke with psychologists. And the first question they asked me was, have you thought about killing yourself? I thought, wow, really? That's your first point of entry? So I tried to improve myself, and yet I was faced with an overwhelming amount of resources, books, podcasts, any great minds to dive into. And yet I didn't know where to start. None of it was personalized. The problem that I'm trying to solve today is that we are drowning in information, and yet we're starving for direction. There is a Harvard research that cited 58% of young adults are battling with a lack of purpose and are doubling rates of anxiety and depression as a result. This is the self-improvement market we're talking about here. It is poised currently at 41 billion US dollars and is aiming to grow to 80 billion by the year 2032. So let's look at the current situation. Where do you start when looking for direction? Many of us might look at the likes of maybe search engines, maybe going Googling something, perhaps even use tools like ChatGPT to start brainstorming some ideas. Perhaps even maybe some personal connections that we might want to interact with as well. But how many of you do actually still feel that you battle with a sense of purpose despite these available and the information at our fingertips? I want to break it down into 4 key stages: reactive, adaptive stage. We're going to find Google searching, maybe using Bing, for example, just to maybe find out a particular area we want to explore. The problem with this is SEO optimized and advertised results. On an adaptive side, maybe we use ChatGPT and Gemini, and yet those are pre-trained model datas that are prone to hallucinations. They're going to predict what might exist if you want to improve yourself in something. So what is that next step? What can we actually build that covers the gap? It needs to be personalized and actually have real-world resources that we can then reference. The next step after this is predictive, something that is contextualized to maybe the job market, market opportunity, you name it. Have you ever heard of Ikigai before? So Ikigai, in short, is a Japanese framework to help an individual find purpose and meaning in life. You find your Ikigai by the intersection of those 4 key areas. What are you good at? What do you love doing? What does the world need? And what can you get paid for? Using this as a really good reference, I want to introduce the concept of NovaNexus. NovaNexus aims to be a web application that we want to build. It is a freemium application that can help an individual guide themselves in the skills and resources that they want to improve themselves with. It is a crowdsourced skills and resource database that's going to use artificial intelligence to map all of these skills and resources to guide an individual down their route. It is a crowdsourced platform, so people can contribute these skills and resources to guide themselves down these routes, and we can help them get started as well. The business model is fairly straightforward. It's offering a premium subscription to open up additional tools and assessments to guide individuals down a particular route, as well as affiliate marketing.
1 minute left.
We are able to actually provide a pay-per-click on a very specific set of resources that we recommend. Naturally, data analytics are part of this, so we can provide this in an ethical and an anonymous way to individuals. The roadmap, just to on a high level speak about this, we want to develop the platform over the next 6 months, provided that we can get funding to do so. And part of this is to then implement the base skill evaluations for us to take the next step in a proactive place. Then we add in job data and analytics to then become more predictive. This is the span to aim for certain numbers of subscribers over time to be able to then hit our goals. The ask is $200,000 for funding and strategic partnerships to develop and scale NovaNexus. And I'm happy to continue the conversation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Well done. So 3 minutes on the clock for Q&A.
You can hear me, right? Okay. Yes. Two huge questions. One for the markets where people are still using flip phones, doing subsistence agriculture, the informal economy. Do you see this as being useful? Two, I teach at a university. I can imagine all the partnerships you have with universities, private, not-for-profit. So I'm wondering, what order of priority would you tackle the partnerships that would want to give you money because they see this as a lead on business? Are you open to that, or is that going to compromise the integrity of Ikigai? And then again, the big question is, you really think that you can make this work for the flip phone, subsistence agriculture, informal economy people? Or is that especially where you can add value?
What happened to Ord?
Very good question. The key is education. This is an educational platform, and if we can provide a framework that can provide a way to feed the skills and resources specific for maybe certain university degrees, we want to be able to build a platform that does this. I don't believe that's going to compromise any sort of frameworks. Again, that's reference, but it's about building a platform that can help people connect the dots. And that's the start of it. Whether that is a partnership through universities, through education, honestly, that's probably the most powerful way. But there are a lot of young adults, even outside of educational spaces, that don't have these kinds of tools. For flip phones and for details around this, this is a digital platform